How's it going? So, as you probably saw in this title, how fitness essentially kept me sane through a rough period of my life. Uh, and I mainly wanted to talk about it mainly because I'm trying to build like a um, fitness coaching for engineers because I really do believe that fitness is probably one of those things that keeps you disciplined through, seasons of your life. That was specifically true for me last year. And I wanted to talk to you about a story about, me last year, how it all went or what happened. And it all kind of started back in like 2 months before I was supposed to graduate with a mechanical engineering degree. And then what ended up happening was that one day after my ceremony, um, after we had like the whole celebration and everything, my dad almost passed away with like a pulmonary disease or something, like an infection. And I was like, well, shit. I mean, I was not expecting this. And then, right shortly after, I had to pay his taxes for like a family business that he had had for like a couple years. So I was like, fuck. I mean, not even my business, and like it's not even something that I was supposed to like, pay like that, but had to pay out of pocket for that. And then I was preparing myself to like sell life insurance for like a month with an agency to sell life insurance. And then I believe a month after that, or a couple weeks after that, that I found out that my dad was hospitalized. I was cut from the agency to sell for, and that shit kind of like hit me a little bit. So I was like, "Fuck, damn, okay." And at the same time, I had to lead the engineering teams in my university to complete the projects because apparently deadlines are not sufficient for everybody to like get their act together or something. So everything kind of just hit me at once within like a span of a couple of months. And I was like, fuck, dude, like I gotta, and I, and when I graduated, I couldn't find a job for engineering because I spent most of my time uh, during college running ads for local businesses, trying to sell door to door solar, and just recently selling life insurance. So when it comes to like experience for engineering, didn't really have much, to be honest with you. So over time, one of the things that happened was that over the course of months, I had to find a new agency to sell for, and I had to figure out how to get a job in my career. And that shit was that shit was very confusing because during that whole process, my dad was hospitalized and then he came back, the tax stuff and everything. And at the same time, my only outlet for that whole situation of a mess was to literally work out and post videos online because that's how I would process what was happening because I didn't have like anybody to talk to. So over the course of like last year, maybe around August to like maybe November to December, I was just posting videos. They were pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty raw, and I was just working out. I was just running at night, maybe like at 10 p.m., and I would not come back home until like 1 a.m. because I was just fucking doing push-ups, running, just trying to keep myself like in check mentally. Because at that point, like I had no job, I had no agency to sell for, and even if I did find an agency to sell for, their systems would break down. Then I had to figure out how to get more clients. So I was like, "Fuck, dude." I was in a pretty shitty spot where like couldn't find a job. When I tried to sell, systems broke, or I had to sell on a fucking shitty list of leads that nobody was calling on, other than probably me and a couple other people. And I didn't know exactly where I wanted to take my brand or like who I was as a person like forward, other than just like I wanted to build my own personal brand and use engineering, and that was pretty much it. So for the next maybe from August to like December, that's all I did. Just cold call, work out, and just post videos. And that was the only way that I could like process what was happening around my life, because it wasn't really certain. It was quite uncertain actually. And I remember when I got my first sale in like life insurance, calling trash data, basically garbage. I was like, holy shit, I can sell. I can sell. That was December 1st. I'm not gonna forget that. And before that, I was just like applying for jobs. It's just applying. And I got my first job in like December 23 of last year. And I was like, holy shit. And I was finally able to take a breather. And the first thing I did when I got that job for like to start my career in engineering was get a fucking gym membership. Because what I was doing throughout that whole process was just working out and everything, that I literally just bought a gym membership. And I was like, fuck it, I need a gym membership. And I was going to the gym from work. I would work like at 7 a.m. I would finish like at 5 p.m. And then I would go to the gym right after that. And then I would go home, or in the gym, I would post a video. Or after, when I got home, I would post a video. And that's what I was doing for like about 4 months, from December to like March. And at the same time, I was just going to the gym, because the gym was the only thing that I had when I had nothing, when I had no money, when I had like a lot of fucking pressure, and I didn't have anybody to talk to other than just me to the fucking camera, like I'm doing right now, kinda. And that's why I believe that fitness is like one of those things that is essential as a man, that makes you develop as a person, because honestly, it helps me through a period of isolation, because last year I pretty much isolated myself for like 8 months. And that was rough. I almost lost my fucking mind just like being there. And what got me through most of it was hope and working out. Literally just doing a bunch of push-ups, working out at home, doing everything I can to like keep my my body sharp, sharp body, sharp mind, something like that. And even then, like, as I've gone about it, like, the more I get in shape, the more I was tracking my calories and everything. I was losing weight, I was looking better, leaner and everything. I felt so much better. Not only because I wanted people to look at me. That wasn't really the point. Like, the whole point was to like develop myself in such a way that I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about me. I mean, that's why I even post these videos, because I know that a job can get rid of me within like weeks. They can just like decide, no, you know what, he's not a good fit, he's gotta leave. And what do I got? I got my physique. Business partners could just like come and go. Money can come and go too, but like if I'm still sharp as fuck, like with my fitness and everything, you're like, if you're sharp as fuck with your fitness as a man, it's like you can rebuild from anything, and that's why I'm trying to do like fitness coaching for engineers, because you might be an engineer and everything, trying to think that, oh, like my job is never gonna get rid of me or like nothing like that. But like, if you really think about it, they don't really give a shit about you. They care about the value that you provide to the company, but eventually what's gonna happen with you? Why don't you build something that's your own? Starting with your body, taking care of it. Like, take 1 hour out of the day to like work out. Get a gym membership. Even if you're scared or something like that. Why are you scared, bro? You're gonna fucking die. I'm gonna die too. And nobody really gives a fuck about you like how you think. And that mindset kind of like pushed me through like some of the hard times in my life, especially last year. And for me, that's why I always kept my fitness on point, going to the gym after I got my membership, and just going to the gym every single day. because the discipline from going to the gym spread over to my job, which means that I was doing my best that I could every day. And I was doing that for like even my videos too, just trying shit, you know? And yeah, over time, up until March, my contract ended. But at that point, I was already like pretty good, like on a good position, because I kind of isolated myself from like maybe May up until probably January when I started dancing salsa and bachata. And you know, up until January, I was like pretty much like little by little getting accustomed to getting back out there socially. So by March, I was already kind of like, I was already kind of getting there, right? And then from then on, like from April up until now, which is July 2nd, I believe it's July 2nd today. I mean, right now, I'm in a better shape than I've ever been in my life. Sure, I'm at a deficit, and the whole point is to lose like 5 more pounds, you know, so we can actually see like the whole definition of this. But overall, like from last year up until now, it's like, yeah, there's uncertainty in my life and everything, but like I can deal with it because I can keep working out because that's the only thing that's been consistent through like everything that's happened. And that's why I believe that as a man, or even a person in general, like taking your fitness into account will get you to survive along some of the harshest periods of your time, of your life. And like I said, that's why I wanted to do like fitness coaching, because like, dude, if you can get your body right, you can get other shit in your life right. Because back when I didn't have any type of money, like people were like kind of just leaving my life, and they kind of didn't really have anything going for like me and like my career. Even my content was not taking off, honestly. It was only recently, like a couple weeks ago, that something fucking popped off. And the only thing that's been very consistent through all of it was my physique. That every single month I just kept looking better and better and better and better, and just keep going to the gym, getting stronger. And that progress kind of just like fueled me for everything else in my life, whether it was approaching women, whether it was getting stronger at the gym, when it was posting content, just better ideas, you know, everything else, just tracking my food better and everything, making friends, new friends and everything. And that's why I feel like I will always preach about fitness and why I want to do it for why I want to help other people, because it's like, dude, get your shit right with fitness and it'll do justice for you on every other aspect of your life. Like, why would you not want to be fit? You know, for me, it's like, it really kept me sane through a rough period of my life. And I just can't stress enough how important it is as a man, or just in general, like to take care of your body, man. Absolutely take care of your body. Take care of your mental health. Become an example for the people around you. That it is possible, that not everybody has to be fucking fat in the family, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, maybe I just rambled a little bit too much at this point. I just wanted to talk about it. And I wanted to share how fitness kind of just kept me sane through like a rough period of my life. And I really hope that you took something away from this. I know I kind of rambled a little bit too much, right? But yeah, who gives a fuck? It's my video. If you watched all the way to the end, you got a longer attention span that I could say for most people. And I appreciate you for watching. If you like, go ahead and subscribe, leave a like, and a comment if, like, I don't know, if it helped you in some type of way. So, anyway, thanks.